The cellar is low, with a brick vault whitewashed in thick layers of lime, applied repeatedly over the years until the surface becomes irregular, almost organic, with bulges that do not belong to the original architecture but to the time accumulated over it. The air smells of rotten onions and salted meat, that scent of things long passed through decay and reached the next stage, when organic matter begins to transform into mineral, when flesh becomes stone, and the onion turns into dust with memory. Wooden shelves line the walls. On the shelves, jars. 31 jars. The aim counts. They are different sizes, some small, the size of a glass, others large, the size of a soup pot, with wide mouths and lids made of bakelite, tin, or polished glass. All are empty. Each bears a label. The labels are handwritten. But the words have been erased by time and humidity, each letter reduced to a stain, each word to a trace, each trace something you might take for writing only if you want to believe that something was ever written there. The aim stands before the shelves and reads the labels with her ability to read textures. Not letters, but the imprint the letters left on the paper, the pressure of the instrument in the fibers of the page, a trace more enduring than ink. She reads without understanding the content, like a person hearing a familiar language spoken too softly to distinguish the words. She understands, however, that each jar had once been full, and that nothing in each jar was food. Nothing of the ordinary logic of a cellar. She kneels and digs with her hands. At about 10 centimeters deep, she finds an object wrapped in rotted sackcloth. A tin box, rusted, with the lid fused by corrosion. She opens it with the nail scissors. Inside is a patch of yellow cloth and a bone thimble painted blue, the paint so old that the surface is cracked into tiny scales, like reptile skin that has shed. The thimble was never a sewing tool. The blue paint was applied in 3 layers, each left to dry completely before the next. Each layer is thinner than the previous, using the technique of an artist who knows that perfect coverage is achieved through gradual reduction, not by massive addition. The cracked paint scales form a geometry that is not random. Each scale is roughly hexagonal, with slightly irregular edges but consistent angles. Hexagons, like the wallpaper in the Manor's salon. It fits her ring finger. She secures it. The thimble belonged to an intermediary who made a pact with this place. To someone who knew that certain things are negotiated. She returns to the Manor. Now the distances behave normally. She goes straight to the central beam in the entrance hall, a massive oak timber supporting the first-floor ceiling. She places her finger, wearing the blue thimble, on the wood and listens. She immediately feels the building's memory, layered one upon another. The entities in the manor are calcified imprints of intention in lime, in wood, and in that unknown mineral from the house's marrow, the mix of lime, animal bones, and a substance of no origin forming the building's structural core. The aim feels how the entities begin to cooperate with her methodically, like acid gradually dissolving a barrier. She presses her palm to the beam, presses the thimble into the wood, and transmits. I know what you are. I know how you work. And I have something you want. The building listens. The deal is done. Now she must wait for the 4. She turns her back to the manor and sets off through the tall grass toward the path, thinking of Zelkudreth, Kaelman, Lyarana, and Sorentom. For recoverers, for patterns of intention already converging on her, convinced that the hunt belongs to them.